I'm Noreen and welcome to my kitchen. Today, since I've had so many requests, please show us more videos using your mixer. I'm going to make up some Italian sub rolls to have with supper, so I thought I'd go ahead and do that from start to finish. We are using my recipe for stone-baked Italian bread, but I do shape it a little bit differently, and I thought I would just make a new video out of it for you. We're going to be using my Bosch to mix this up, and shape it, bake it, and this is the end result. A beautiful submarine or torpedo roll ready for your homemade hoagie, or in our case, steak sandwiches for dinner. This is what they look like on the inside. They're super beautiful and delicious. Let's go see how we make these. I've had so many people ask me if I'm going to show the mixer in use again that I thought I'm going to be making something for supper tonight, and we're going to need rolls for that. So I'm going to show you how I make sub rolls, and in order to do that I need my Bosch. So we're going to mix up the dough in here today. I don't use the KitchenAid to mix up bread dough at all anymore. What we're going to add, it can't. It seriously can't. 1 1/3 cups of water. This is my stone-baked Italian bread recipe. I have published that before. I'll leave a link below where you can find the recipe, but I just thought I'd go through and show you how I make this because I haven't shown you how it's done in this particular machine. So I got a 1 cup and 1/3 of water, a tablespoon of instant yeast, so we don't have to proof it. I need a tablespoon of granulated sugar. Goes right in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put 1/4 cup of olive oil in there as well. And I'm just going to give this a turn to get everything started. Right now that's on a number 1 speed. And now we can go ahead and add our flour and our dry ingredients. I'm going to start with 4 cups of flour.
That smells good already.
It does. I'm going to put in 4 to start, and I'm measuring an extra. So, what I will say is if you have a Bosch mixer, you know that it really needs the... I'm making a single batch of dough. So in order for that, I need to have the dough hook extender, which is a little piece of plastic that allows the kneading process to take place much easier for a small batch of dough. If you're making 9 loaves of bread, then you don't need that. Okay, we're also going to need 1/4 cup of potato flake. This is just as a dough amendment. It makes for a nice soft roll. And also 1/4 cup of dry milk powder. Now I'm going to put the collar on the top. And I'm going to begin to mix it on a 1. At some point you're going to start to hear the machine really, it's going to get much lower, and then we're going to turn it up. You want to give all of that flour time to absorb the liquid and become a cohesive mass. Now you can hear that this the sound has gone much lower. Yes. I'm going to turn it up. And it's at this point you're going to assess whether you need more liquid or more flour or both. And I'm going to take this off. I'm going to need a little more liquid today. It's been very dry here, so I'm actually going to add a little more water. And then we'll see where we are. Give it time to absorb before you add more, because you might not need to. Let's see where we're at. You want this ball of dough to travel around the outer parts of the bowl. You don't want it to be traveling around the shaft in the center. You want to see that ball of dough moving. And if you have a Bosch, you know this. Or maybe you just got one and you're, wanting to learn more. You want every part of that dough to touch every part of that dough hook. Okay, the dough is traveling around the bowl. what I like to do right before I take it out of the bowl is I like to put a little olive oil in there. That'll spin it, and it'll be a lot easier for everything to come out of the bowl. And then this should just pop right on out. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to go clear. I'm going to get all this stuff out of the way. But just so you can see, I don't flour my board when I'm working with my dough because you shouldn't have to. If your dough is properly mixed, you shouldn't need any additional flour because putting raw flour into your dough is going to make it tough because that flour has not had time for the gluten to develop, and we've already done our kneading, so our dough is exactly where we need it. Oil your hands a little, oil your board a little if you have to, and what we're going to do is get ready to shape this into our rolls. Okay, you're going to want to divide your dough into 8 separate pieces, and I have left them in an elongated shape. This just makes it a little bit easier when we do our end shaping. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back and I'm going to show you how we shape these rolls. Okay, these are the rolls I've already done. I'm going to go through the last 2 with you so you can see how I do it. Like I said, when I divided and portioned out my dough, I didn't weigh it, I just eyeballed it, and I rolled it out. I just kind of divided everything and formed it into a semi-oblong shape. So what you're going to do is with the heel of your hand, first of all, put this in front of you on your work surface. Kind of mash it down and elongate it just a little bit more. Flatten it out. And of course, this is all going to depend on how big you want your rolls. I want my rolls to be sub-size. You're going to take this edge that's furthest away from you and you're going to push it down into the center of what you just rolled out. Then you're going to roll it back onto itself. Again, pinch it down. And again, and then you're going to roll it back and forth. Pinch the ends, smooth them out. And you see how I have my pinkies here at the end, and I'm just kind of using those to smooth out those edges. And that's what it's going to look like. On the bottom, your seam is going to look nice and sealed. Then just move it to your tray. I like to get 8 out of this particular recipe. It makes 8 nice size rolls. Let's do that again. Mash it down. Pull it into the center. And then into the center again. And pinch it down into itself. Then roll it using your pinkies to smooth out the ends. Make sure your seam is sealed. If it's not, you can always help it a little bit by pinching it and then rolling it again. And then lay it on your baking sheet. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to just give this a little bit of a spray with some coconut oil spray. I'm going to put another sheet of parchment on the top. I'm going to put this on top of my stove, which I have preheating at 375 degrees. And I'm going to let these rise for 30 to 45 minutes until they have doubled in size. I will bring you back when it's time to put them in the oven. We've let these sit for about 40 minutes, and now I'm going to go ahead and slash them. This is totally optional. You don't have to. But I like the way that it makes the rolls look. So you can do 2 or 3. It doesn't matter. Just do it kind of gentle and try not to totally deflate what you've just spent the last little while having them rise. This is going to help them when they bake in the oven. It's going to help them not to crack. The ice. Now I have a little egg wash. It's just an egg beaten with about 2 tablespoons of water. And we're just going to wash the tops. This is going to give them a really beautiful shine. They're going to look just like they came from the corner bakery. Now, into the oven these go. And I'm going to do my little trick with the ice. I'm doing mine on the sides of the oven. And then we're going to close it up. That's going to simulate a steam oven, and it's going to give the rolls a really nice texture. It's going to steam inject that oven briefly so that while they get that first initial burst of heat and they begin to rise, that outer crust becomes nice and tender. So When these are ready to come out of the oven, we'll be back. These are going to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. All right, timer went off. It's time to bring these out of the oven. Those are perfect and delicious sub sandwich rolls. You tap on them, they sound hollow. That's exactly how you want them.
What are we going to do with them?
We're going to have steak sandwiches for dinner. You knew that. There's the bottoms.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yes.
There you go. That's how you make beautiful and easy Italian sub rolls to go with whatever you want. You can make these any shape you want. You can make them round. You can make them in a torpedo shape like this. We're going to have steak sandwiches for dinner, so you can do whatever you like. This is the same recipe that I use for my Italian bread loaf, so you make it any shape you want. If you do make loaves, it makes 2 whole loaves, and if you make the rolls, 8 rolls. You can also make 16 smaller round rolls, and it's perfect. So that's how you do it. I hope you try it. I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya. For joining me in my kitchen today. I hope you liked what you watched today, and I hope that you try it, and I hope that you love it. If you like what you saw, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and giving me a positive rating. And also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you're already not a subscriber so that you don't miss out on any of the fun we have here in our kitchen every single day. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to come by tomorrow. Until next time, happy eating!